Hello and welcome to Market Briefing. I'm Martin Bakkerdax, European Business Editor here at the IB Times UK. Well, we were briefly in the green for European stocks, but now we're back into the red and extending a fourth consecutive day of slides for the major indices around the region. There's no great driver for the declines, but nonetheless, there's no great reason for optimism at this stage either, and even bargain hunting investors can't seem to hold on to these long positions. Effectively, what we're looking at is about a 0.5% decline for the FTSE 100 and similar percentage dips for major indices around the region. What we saw late yesterday was not only the IMF's assessment for global economic growth being downgraded, but also some pretty harsh words for the austerity policies being implemented, not only in Europe, but here in the United Kingdom as well. And effectively, that fiscal probity, as it's described by those who support it, is really stifling growth potential here this year and also into 2014 to such a degree that France is likely to slip into recession this year and may struggle to recover in 2014 as well. And that says everything you need to know about the difference in potential and growth and prospects for the core of the Eurozone and how that core is separating between France and Germany. Today in the United Kingdom, we had a dilemma as well for the Bank of England and the Monetary Policy Committee. They voted 6-3 to maintain the 375 billion sterling program of quantitative easing. It was the third consecutive month that Governor Mervyn King was outvoted by his colleagues. He wants a 25 billion increase. But effectively, they are not convinced that an expansion of the program is going to A, ignite economic growth, and B, whether or not it will be, whether they're concerned that it will stoke further inflation. Now, inflation was measured at 2.8% only yesterday, and real wage growth, as measured by the ONS today, was the slowest pace in about 12 years. It only grew on a 3-month basis by 1% annually. And again, that is pretty limp when you compare it to the 2.8% inflation figure. Now, the unemployment rate ticked up slightly on a 3-month basis to 7.9%, but really that wage figure is probably the most significant of the data that was released today by the ONS, and as I mentioned, gives a deeper dilemma for the Monetary Policy Committee in how they are going to stoke growth without necessarily igniting deeper inflation and therefore having an even deeper drag on real wage growth. One particular equity story we're following today is that of Tesco. They posted their first full-year profit decline in 2 decades, down 14.5%, down 51% on a statutory basis, largely because of a $1.2 billion write-down they're going to have to take with respect to the closure of the U.S. operations. They're pulling out of Fresh and Easy, which really hasn't turned a profit since it started in 2007. And as I say, that's going to cost around 1.2 billion sterling, and probably more of an embarrassment for the company than anything else. They're going to try to retrench growth here in the United Kingdom as part of an overall strategic review. But investors aren't terribly impressed by what they read today in the earnings statement, and the shares are off about 2.5% as a result. You can check out all that and a lot more on the economy page. We'll see you tomorrow.